Toyota Hilux නම් Toyota Lanka තමයි.
අපට විශ්වාස Toyota Lanka.
A press conference was convened in Colombo today with the participation of representatives from all opposition parties against the arrest of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The conference, held under the theme Let's Defeat the Constitutional Dictatorship, saw the attendance of former President Maithripala Sirisena, former Speaker of Parliament Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena, and representatives of several opposition parties including the Samaki Jana Balawegaya, United National Party, Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna and the Sarvajana Balaya. United National Party General Secretary Talatha Attukorala read the statement by former President Chandrika Bandaranayake Kumaratunga.
චන්ද්‍රිකා බණ්ඩාරනායක කුමාරතුංග හිටපු ජනාධිපතිනියගේ විශේෂ පණිවිඩය. What we are witnessing is a calculated onslaught on the very essence of our democratic values. The consequences of this go far beyond the fate of an individual or any political grouping and involve peril for the rights of our society as a whole. I join wholeheartedly in expressing my unreserved opposition to these initiatives which all political leaders are duty bound to resist.
Wolverhampton විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ පැවතිච්ච උත්සව පිළිබඳ
Certain details regarding the ceremony at Wolverhampton University are unclear. There were two events. One was a luncheon. Did Ranil Wickremesinghe attend the event in his capacity as the president? At the reception, President Wickremesinghe and Lord Swaraj Paul delivered addresses side by side. The ceremony in question, which Professor Maitri Wickremesinghe attended, was held thereafter. It was not a Sri Lankan newspaper but Blitz India which clearly reported that President Ranil Wickremesinghe attended this luncheon in an official capacity.
ඉලවශයෙන් තමයි කියලා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ ජනාධිපති සහභාගී වුණේ ඒ දිවා භෝජන සංග්‍රහයට.
අපේ රට යන වර්තමාන ගමන් මගේදී
For those who are versed in politics, the democracy of our country has become a major question in the context of the country's current path. We can see the features of a democratic society slowly eroding away. It appears as if the finishing touches are being made to the casket in which democracy is to be buried.
ලෑලි යතු ගහමින් සිටිනවා තමයි අපිට පේන්නේ.
සිකුරාදා දවස බලලා සියයට අරන් ගිහිල්ලා
They waited until Friday, took him to the CID and then to court and even disconnected the power. Everyone was there to witness it. I request our good friend Comrade Anura Kumara not to play games. There are enough allegations against Ranil Wickremesinghe with regard to Batalanda and the central bank bond scam. Those who level those accusations are present here. No one would object if action was taken against those cases. This is clearly political revenge.
මේක අනිවාර්ය 100% දේශපාලන පරිගැනීම.
This particular incident, the way in which it has happened and certain statements that have been made by responsible people before the event and some irresponsible people before the event and what has happened ultimately shows there was a clear intention to humiliate a political personality to get some applause from the gallery. This is how we see it.
රට වැඩිලා තිබුණ වෙලාවේ විවිධ මතවාද අපි අතර තිබුණත්
Despite our contrasting ideologies and the fact that we were in the opposition at the time, we respect Ranil Wickremesinghe as the leader who toiled to uplift the country in its time of crisis. It is because of him that this government is emboldened to speak about $6 billion worth of foreign reserves. It was under his leadership that the hunger of the people was satiated. This is an operation completely orchestrated by the JVP headquarters. It was executed by BR, not the previous government's BR, but this government's BR. Shani Abesekara was actively engaged in politics with the JVP. It would have been understandable if he was simply reinstated to his previous designation as reparation for the political revenge which he was subjected to. However, what is happening now is that he is being used to hunt down Ranil Wickremesinghe, with whom he had a clash of ideologies. The head of the CID waited in court for 5 hours. What is happening?
අපරාධ පරීක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ ප්‍රධානියා ඉන්නවා උසාවියට වෙලා. මොකද්ද මේ වෙන්නේ?
ජනතාවට බොරු පොරොන්දු දීලා
The government which came to power off the back of false promises have understood that they have been unable to achieve anything and are attempting to maintain their grip on power by suppressing their opponents.
තමන්ගේ බලය පවත්වාගෙන යන්න.
ජනාධිපතිතුමාට මුදල් ඇමති හැටියට
The incumbent president, in his capacity as the finance minister, was accused of negligence because even though the finance ministry's investigation committee recommended an audit into the controversial clearance of containers, he has yet to do so. In such a context, we view this act not as proof that the law is being enforced equitably, but as direct political revenge. The incumbent president engaged in several overseas tours. Some firms which he spoke with during those visits were given tax concessions worth trillions. What is the legality of that? Aren't public assets being spent on his foreign trips? There is no greater joke than the party which set ablaze an Iranian vessel en route to the port of Colombo in 1982, proudly acknowledged that they destroyed a vast amount of state assets during 1988 and 89 and took to the streets in 2022 to set the parliament ablaze, arresting the former president under the Public Property Act.
හිටපු ජනාධිපතිතුමා අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීම තරම් ඓතිහාසික විහිළුවක් තවත් මේ රටේ නැහැ.
Separately, SLPP national organizer MP Namal Rajapaksa and Sarva Jana Balaya leader MP Dilip Jayavira also commented on former President Wickremesinghe's arrest.
Ranil Wickremesinghe mahattayai Anura Kumara mahattayai
Ranil Wickremesinghe and Anura Kumara were playing this game together since 2008. In 2015, they formed the Good Governance government together and shared political stages. They were also in league during the time of the central bank bond scam. This conspiracy continued during the 2019 election as well. Ranil Wickremesinghe strategically contested the last election as a candidate to ensure Anura Dissanayaka's victory. Ranil Wickremesinghe thought they were playing this game based on a set of agreed upon rules. However, he should have known that Anura Kumara was playing an altogether different game.
ක්‍රිකට් ගහනකොට ওই විදියට තමයි අවුට් වෙන්නේ කියලා.
පහුගිය කාලේ අපි දැක්ක ආණ්ඩුවේ මැති ඇමතුරු ඉඩම් ගත්තා පිළිබඳව.
We saw during the past cases of government ministers and MPs obtaining lands, pending legal proceedings against them, call tenders being altered and the rocket debacle. To conceal these facts, the government is clearly trying to direct public opinion elsewhere. The government must stop this act of vengeance.
පලි ගැනීම ආණ්ඩුව නතර කළ යුතුයි. අපිට එකතු වෙන්න කෙනෙක් හිර යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ.
Someone's imprisonment is not required for us to unite. That is the mentality of the JVP. They need a struggle and arson to unite. The opposition has united not to accomplish our diverging goals, but to establish a political movement to rebuild this broken state, ensure public security and safeguard democracy. Although it is said that there are no friends or enemies in politics, at present we can't distinguish between who is a friend and who's a foe. In 2005, we were allied with the JVP. In 2005, we were allied with the JVP. In 2015, Ranil Wickremesinghe was allied with the JVP, and in 2022, we allied with Ranil Wickremesinghe. Now in 2025, Ranil Wickremesinghe and the JVP have become enemies. The people must be wondering about these complex relationships. They talked about the central bank scam and Batalanda, but he was ultimately arrested over a layover.
අන්තිමට බලනකොට ට්‍රාන්සිට් එකට හිරේ ගිහලා තියෙන්නේ.